Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, Shinrin Yoku, and Yurt Life, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, October 25th, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. A seismic crisis is continuing in Iceland, specifically on the Reykjanes Peninsula. We also have an active shooter, 16 people dead, and the suspect is at large, while we wait for heavy snow to cover the central U.S. Keep calm. It's boom time. The first significant snowmaker of the season could drop a foot of snow in some areas, as 2.9 million Americans are under winter weather alerts. Snow hits the northern Cascades and Rockies in the first major storm of the season, and the snow will continue for days. In fact, up to 24 inches of snow could hit some parts of Colorado in the next 2 days. Severe storms with heavy rain, hail, and gusty winds expected tonight in Dallas-Fort Worth, followed by the global warming goodness by the weekend. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Al Gore is not happy about Texas snow. Hurricane Otis slams Acapulco as a Category 5 storm and pushes inland. Currently, just a post-tropical depression, but this storm was not predicted in any way. The maximum predicted level at landfall was Cat 2. Who knew? Now you do. It rapidly intensified, breaking all records. Hurricane Otis made landfall near Acapulco, Texas early Wednesday with maximum sustained winds of 165 miles per hour, with higher gusts over 200 after rapidly intensifying from a tropical storm into a ferocious Category 5 in under 24 hours. Yeah, it was, in fact, the fastest and most record-breaking storm ever to hit this portion of Mexico ever, and the strongest storm ever to hit the coast. Forecasters warn ahead of landfall that catastrophic damage was likely from Otis, which has since dropped to Cat 1 and is now post-tropical. A nightmare scenario is unfolding, according to the National Hurricane Center, and, well, the damage is clear. Here we are over at the Twitter looking at some of the damage from Hurricane Otis. Lots of people posting pictures. This was really unexpected, and it appears as if areas on the coast were most damaged. Here we can see another coastal town picking up the pieces from Hurricane Otis. Let's take a look here. No one was expecting this, so this came right out of the blue. I mean, they knew a tropical storm was coming, but not a Cat 5 storm. So this destruction like this was really unprecedented. We will be leaving links to all this over at our Twitter, so we're going to repost this real quick. Go check us out at Diamond Dave on the tweet box. And here we're looking at some of the most recent posts on that Hurricane. Here we're looking at more. Let's see if we can see where one of these towns is. El Puerto. This is in Acapulco. All these shots are from Acapulco. So massive damage in Acapulco. Apparently, we will get more information in the morning. As we can see, Otis, the remnants of Otis, just at 35 miles per hour maximum sustained winds. It is now a tropical depression or less, and is completely insignificant. As we're keeping a close eye on Hurricane Tammy, where the models have shifted, it's not going to hit Bermuda. It is going to make a turn around and move away. That's good news for Bermuda. Almost no effects. As spine-chilling cold sweeps the U.S., just in time for Halloween. Here's the Halloween forecast Tuesday night. Take a look at this. The only warm spot is Miami at 74. The rest, 52 is the high in L.A., and everything else is colder than that. 40s, 30s, and 20s for your trick-or-treating. Holy macaroni. That is a grand solar minimum. Boom. Excessive rainfall, heavy snow from the Pacific Northwest into the northern plains. A line of heavy rainfall moving through central Texas, the nexus of the Schmexis, south central Oklahoma, and eastern Kansas will continue through early Thursday morning. Excessive rainfall could lead to flooding, especially in low-lying areas. Flash flood warnings are issued in the green here, so heed the warnings in your county. Across the northwest U.S., heavy snow will continue across the region through the end of the week. Heavy rainfall and snow could lead to difficult travel conditions. For the next 24 hours, winter storm watches and warnings issued here in purple and pink. Click on your county at weather.gov for more info. Here is the GFS model. Let's take a look at it. We'll just walk it through day by day. Here is your Thursday into Friday morning. More heavy snow for North Dakota, Montana, and Wyoming. And we'll just bring it into Saturday morning. Take a look at those totals. A big swath of 16 to 18 inches moving through northern Minnesota, St. Minnesota, but it is, as well as North Dakota. We could be seeing 16 inches in the high elevations of Wyoming as well. And here we're just going to move it through. Okay, I've uploaded the data. Now it is much smoother. Take a look at that. Okay, so here we see Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's your lose day for the Northeast. Take a look at this. These systems are going to continue to move across the U.S. for days. And then another system behind it is going to bring heavy snow, more heavy snow to Canada. Another system to the Northeast like a beast. Look at that. Could be picking up to 2 feet of snow in Maine. It's insane. Yeah, the winter season is just getting started. Seismic update. We can see that activity on the Reykjanes Ridge here, 4.6 in Volgar, Iceland. Overall, very normal activity worldwide, which is good news. As we take a look at the seismic crisis over here at Iceland, we just refreshed it to take a look at the newest data. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Holy macaroni. We had that 5 magnitude at Bartabunga about 36 hours ago, followed by multiple 4s, 4, 3, or larger magnitude here on the Reykjanes Ridge. Let's go take a look at the peninsula itself, because that's where an eruption will come. Most of the activity happening exactly where a dike intrusion happened just several months ago. This eruption is ongoing. The eruption that started 3 years ago is all part of the same set of eruptions. And we should expect another eruption before Christmas here, maybe happening soon. So stay tuned for more boom on Iceland as new earthquakes swarm in Fagradalsfjall at the Pibjörn Mountain. Yeah, this is the Reykjanes volcano. Current activity is complicated and might not behave the same way as earlier eruptions did. Now, earthquake activity is increasing in south parts of the Fagradalsfjall volcano in the area of Natagi. Because the location is a bit different, this can result in a lot of change on what happens when magma pushes itself up through the crust. The earthquake activity close to Pibjörn might be a mixed earthquake activity of tension-breaking earthquakes and magma pushing itself up. Nobody knows, but what we do know is that this eruption that's been happening for now up to 3 years is continuing today. Even though there's no lava on the surface, it will happen soon. Worldwide volcano news update. Few other volcanoes to note today. We've got Maine to 9,000 feet, but the big winner, Chicken Dinner, Klucheskov, puffing to 25,000 and 27,000 foot today. We have some spectacular footage here from Klucheskov in the Kamchatka. This is emissions of incandescent fluid lava by fountaining and lava flow. As they continue, might even be considered Strombolian, which is delicious. Boguslav volcano in the Aleutians, increased seismic activity continues. Alert level has been raised to yellow. That little fellow off the coast of Alaska. Now, a perilous expedition to an uninhabited island in the South Atlantic confirms the existence of the world's 8th lava lake. This is not that significant. What happened was National Geographic Explorer got a couple $1 million together and decided to go document this lake. That's it. It's the first documented ascent of Mount Michael, a volcano in the middle of nowhere that no one can afford to go to, hosting the world's 8th lava lake. Pretty cool. And if you're interested in that, the link will be below. Space weather news update. The sun has gotten slightly more active during solar max, but embarrassingly low activity nonetheless. We are keeping our eye on this trans-equatorial coronal hole 66 with an additional coronal hole 65 to the north here. This baby is going to be bringing enhanced geomagnetic activity maybe near Halloween in just about 5 days. So we're keeping a close eye on that because we should definitely get to G1 or G2 geomagnetic storm from this plasma stream emanating from this coronal hole. We also have some active regions turning around the limb, which could, well, bring some excitement to the geomagnetic forecast. But overall, the 3 days showing completely quiet on the Western Front, and KP has barely broken above 1 in the last 2 days. Now, the largest ever computer simulation of the universe escalates the cosmology dilemma. Well, could it get any worse? Almost everything that cosmologists discover these days is baffling, but I'm sure it could. The big problem with this simulation is the S8 tension. Now, the S8 tension is a new problem that was added onto the microwave background, or the CMB, which is a problem for the standard model, gravitational lensing, the Hubble tension, and many other things that are gobbledygook and not actual science. The funny thing is that the Maine scientist says, "Here, I am at a loss." An exciting possibility is that the tension is pointing to shortcomings in the standard model of cosmology, or even the standard model of physics. Yeah, we don't know anything about cosmology, let alone novas or micronovas, no matter what the lawyer named Ben says. Researchers have identified previously undiscovered cannabis compounds that give marijuana strains their unique aroma. And they're not terpenes. They're aromatics. This is an amazing discovery because it changed. Well, first of all, there hasn't been any time to do any science on this plant, which is going to be the most important plant moving forward in our future. The paper, Minor Non-Terpenoid Volatile Compounds Drive the Aroma Difference in Exotic Cannabis, is just one of the newest breakthroughs in cannabis science showing we don't know cannabis either. In fact, the study shows that it is not the terpenes giving the scent, but something called flavorants, which include esters, alcohols, and heteroaromatics. This is the key to understanding cannabis, and they just unlocked it. And it has a tiny little line here called flavorants, which may have everything to do with the healing properties of the plant. And, well, we need a few more years to dive in. Speaking of which, we may not have a few more years. World War III may have already been started on our own soil. 16 people dead and a suspect at large. Multiple suspects in the initial reports after shootings in Lewiston, Maine. And people are claiming that, well, the suspects look Middle Eastern. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to corroborate anything or say anything else, except we warned about civil unrest 9 years ago, and we gave a 10-year window, and we apparently were 1 year short. So civil unrest has begun, and if you haven't been watching mainstream media, civil unrest is going to continue for years to come. As inflation spikes, people get pissed, and World War III commences. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video, as we are shadow banned confirmed, and we need your help to grow. Share the video. That's all I'm asking. You can also become a Patreon, support the work we do if you have the money. We love you. Be safe, and that is a boom.